and boom. That was sweet. That was a surprise too. I did not see this doing that. Wow. Hi, I'm Lou with another episode of My Car Story. Today we're in the western suburbs of Chicago and I've got John with me. John, your last name?
Valene.
And John's got a great car for you. John, what year, make, and model is this unique ride?
It's a 1964 Pontiac Bonneville.
How many of these have you seen when you're out there?
I've seen one in the last 8 years.
Take a look. And I've seen one at a show, and well, you're going to get the chance to see that one right now. So let's take a look at that, and the sun is hitting it right square in the beak. So the interesting thing with this car, and you're going to find that there's many interesting things with this car. Of course, in '64, the rage was the GTO. So to see a Bonneville, it wasn't quite as in demand as that car, but the Bonneville was the top of the line. So John, how long have you had this car?
I've had the car for 8 years.
Now, why this car out of all the cars in the world?
It kind of fell into my lap, Lou.
Tell me this story. By the way, you must have an awful big lap, because as we come back, take a look at the length of this car. So tell me how this fell into your lap.
A friend of mine got this car from his son for a birthday present, and when I saw it, the first time he drove it, I said, if you ever want to sell it, let me know.
And your friend had one of these back in the day.
It was his first car ever.
It was his first car ever, so the son found him this, and the dad had it. But why was the dad wanting to get rid of this?
Because he drove it about 4 times in 14 years, and every time he drove it, something went wrong with it.
So it was a bad Bonneville for him.
For him, yeah.
Wow. And the paint on this just looks spectacular. Wow, we've got the convertible top. The interesting thing too with the size of this car is they made a station wagon back then. Well, let's open the hood, shall we? But this car, tell me about the length of this car.
It is over 18 feet long.
Wow.
And the station wagon actually came in at 7 inches shorter than this car. 7
inches shorter. The station wagon. Do we have any idea, is this aftermarket? Is that something somebody put on there?
No, that's the way it came. That's part of the wiring.
Yeah. And the Pontiac there. What's the cubic inch on this?
455.
Okay, so it's an upgrade, because usually it would be a 383. But it's got all the right Pontiac colors and things like that.
Yeah, it's a Pontiac engine.
Now, was this an air-conditioned car originally?
It was originally an air-conditioned car.
Okay. Yeah, I can see some of the block-offs on the hoses and things like that. And when we turn it around and show you the interior, you're going to see the vents too, which usually indicates that. But this is really, really nice, for sure. All right, let's fire it up, shall we? We'll fire it up and then we'll listen to it idle. We'll give it one good rev. Now look at the size of that from the hood too. I mean, it's that's up there. Come on, girl. The Bonneville just need a little encouragement, that's all. Hold on. Oh boy. Can you step on the brake lights for a second? You can see the dual exhaust. Look at the moisture coming out of it. Let me just let you listen to the sound of that. John, give it a good rev. One more time with that body rock. You have glass packs on it? Wow, no glass packs. One more time, that was great. All right, we'll turn this one around for you. I told you that we'd turn it around. And that is quite the unique view of the Bonneville. So while I'm back here, John, share with me the difference in the taillights here between the Bonneville and the Catalina.
Well, on the Bonneville, you can see that there's 3 reflectors coming down the taillight. And on the Catalina, there's only 2.
There's your 3, 1, 2, 3.
And you could find the Catalina taillights all day in magazines and stuff like that, but the Bonneville, really hard to find.
Did the Bonneville also have a piece in there and the Catalina did not? That little chrome backing, or the Catalina also had a chrome piece in there as well?
They had a chrome piece in there, but it didn't say Catalina like the Bonneville does.
Does it just say Pontiac?
It just says Pontiac.
Got it. So the Bonneville actually gets that piece, and I just want to show this from the side as well. First of all, the one thing with this side, which is different than the other side, is obviously our gas cap. But as you stand back again, and by the way, look at this quarter view. That's quite the quarter panel.
That thing's huge.
Wow, okay. All right. And also on this side, we've got one thing else that's different. Notice this mirror. There is no way John's going to reach that, okay? Is that with a piece inside that moves it, or?
Yeah, there's a toggle.
Okay, I'll show that toggle when we move to the inside. Let's show, we've got some trunk and treats. So John, let's show those. There we go. Nice. First of all, massive trunk, as you would expect. Power antenna, it looks like. Is that a power antenna?
That is a power antenna.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, we've got, you actually can hear the echo as I'm in the trunk here. There's your great picture of the wide track. There's your actual 64 owner's guide showing the Catalina, the Star Chief, the Grand Prix, and the Bonneville. I won't go through all of that, but by the way, the heater controls are very interesting in this car. We'll talk about that when we get to the inside. Accessories, etc. But I want to show you this Success Car 64 Edition Wide Track Pontiac. Notice how the light is on here and everybody's kind of in the dark. So as we started off, it goes right to this car. We start off with the Bonneville out at the boat dock. So clearly this car is a boat as well, all aboard. There's your Bonneville there, your hardtop, your 4-door. Great. You know, the great thing about these brochures is some of the photographs back in that day. Here's your Star Chief, your 4-door, your post. Looks like some type of a flower situation. The Catalina. There's your Pontiac across the back. There is a little difference, it looks like, there as well. There's your Catalina there. Interesting, they've got the chromed caps there. I don't know if those were hubcaps at the time. Good night out at Armand's, apparently. He's trying to figure out how he's going to get this out of a parking spot. Okay, let me have you move this way. Yeah, thanks. And a 2+2. Now here's your wagon. A Bonneville wagon. So the upgrade, like so. And a beautiful fall day. You could take your time to look at that.
There's the 8-lug wheel.
Yeah.
That's Pontiac known for.
And this is the first year for the 8-lug? Or maybe the 62 was.
I think the 62 was.
Yeah. I think so. Got great look with the open top there, the hard top. And then here's all your options that it would have. So I'll let you pause that. Handling kit lights. Now this one obviously has a different motor with the 455 because that was not an option back then. I think the 400 was the option, or you could see it as we're looking at the engines here. And then that's there's the information there. Okay, so there's our trunk and treats. We'll close that. May I open it?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So as we open it, the sun hits it. I'm going to have you hold that door for a second. There we go. You got a lot going on there. You've got, you know, this vinyl separate section with tufting, and then you've got the carpet, power windows, your Pontiac VIN note. And by the way, when I was under the hood, the VIN tag is right over there in the corner, but it was all painted over and you can't read anything on it. So I didn't miss the VIN tag. Now tell me something unique about this interior right off the bat. Tell me about those vents.
The vents is for the air conditioning cars.
Okay.
If it didn't have air conditioning, it came with 3 gauges instead of a clock and the center vent.
Okay, so what you're sharing, and let me just do this. There's your Pontiac speaker, and take a look at the back. So and we've got the 6-way seat, it looks like. So as we sit in here, that piece you're telling me about is right here. So you would have gauges here.
Correct.
Okay.
But it came with 3 gauges stock, and then when you switch over to the air conditioning package, that's what you would get.
So you got a vent there for air, a vent here in this car. Now also, if you notice, this car was actually this color, but it was painted later to this red. And the red just screams at you when you're looking at it. You've got the top there. So you have this radio, this super deluxe, might I add. But this is interesting. Show me, I'm gonna come over here for a second just to finish this off. Notice you have park, neutral, drive, reverses all the way to the right. Is that 134,000 miles on this?
On this engine, when I got the car, it had 27,000.
Okay. And we've got the pedals there.
And there's the toggle for the...
Got it. Toggle, what's the toggle for?
For the mirror.
Oh, for the mirror. This is your mirror toggle.
Yeah.
Got it. And then the brights are underneath the... Yeah, here they are. I see them. If you do this, you can see there's the brights. Got it.
And which is very unique is that the bright symbol is right there underneath 60, and that turns red, and it's an Indian head.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Let me focus on that. Got it right under the 60 there. Nice. And then the gasoline. Now show us this here, the air conditioning. How does this work? I see the red for heat, and you've got blower 2, 3. It looks kind of sophisticated. How does that move over, that orange?
If you turn the knob on the right-hand
This
side,
one?
you can decrease or increase heat and
Got
air.
it. I see how that works. Very cool. Very cool. And what is this knob for?
That's the on and off.
On and off. Got it. On and off. Lighter.
Yep, lighter.
Got it. Big glove box. Big ashtray.
Yep.
Right there.
Clean. I don't know if anybody's ever smoked in that car.
Yeah. Does it pull out?
It does pull out. There you go.
Gotta give it a yank. Yeah. There. And your top up antenna, we've got a dome light there and everything. Neat how it kind of curves around too. Then you've got this block here with the clock. Grab bar with Bonneville, similar to the GTO. And then you're there. And pedals accordingly. Well, John, the only thing that's left is we got to take this one for a ride.
Let's go for a ride.
So John and I are riding in the 64 Pontiac Bonneville Convertible on what would be considered just an awesome day.
Yes, it is.
How do you feel when you're driving this?
It relaxes me.
I'll show you why it relaxes you. Because of that. First of all, extremely smooth, comfortable, and I can see why this is calming. So I'm going to be quiet and just let your heart rate come down. That's tremendous. That is good stuff right there. Oh my goodness. So when you take this to a car show, obviously I ran up to immediately and said, wow, what a car. What's the reaction when you have this at a car show?
People are surprised because you don't see them very often.
How many do you see?
I've had the car for 8 years, and I've seen one other one at one car show, and it was an all Pontiac car show.
All Pontiac car show only one. Was it a convertible or a hardtop?
It was a convertible.
It was a convertible too. Wow, this thing, it's hard not to show you this view. That's just peaceful. Tell me the story about your wife in this car.
Well, I was going to trade this for a Nomad
Yeah.
that needed some work, and my wife insisted that I didn't sell it or trade it. And a couple days later, she finally admitted that she is kind of more attached to the car than I am.
What's your wife's name?
Michelle.
Michelle, nice. Shout out to you, Michelle. Well, I can see why she's attached to the car. I mean, number one, just look at the ride. It's big, it's safe, it has all the features, and probably most important, it's very classy. So she just knew a classy ride, and she said, let's keep this. I can do it. Good job, Michelle. I can see why you'd say this is calming. This is really, it's a wonderful car.
It is. After a hard day at work, a lot of times I'll just take it out for a ride and just cruise, and it relaxes me. Very calming, like you said.
Yeah. And it's a car you can drive for a while. I mean, you can feel it wants to go, but it's not aggressive.
Yeah.
It's like a calm, it's like a stern, I'm in control, you just sit back, I'll take you there.
Yeah.
I think that's what this car is all about.
And it floats down the road.
And it just floats. Let me show a little more floating. What a great car. Well, we could do this all day. We won't. John, what a treat. We're going to continue cruising a little bit, but what a treat. Thanks so much for being on My Car Story. It's really a pleasure.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Lou.
You're welcome.